How's it going?
Hi, I think we are live. Hi, Danny. Welcome.
Hi,
We give.
Bianca.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm
Are
excited.
you are you excited? We're starting now. We wait for some people to arrive. We were talking on the backstage, talking about a lot of stuff, a lot of nice, exciting stuff, and yeah. So a long time we don't see each other, like 10 years, I suppose. With busy lives, busy everything, but we always
Something
keep
like
in
that.
touch. We always keep in touch, talk about music and stuff, and we watch each other as well. Our developed career in
I know.
music.
Because there was a stage where we were playing like every week in
Yeah,
Dublin bars and wherever.
that that was amazing because we were playing in pubs and we had like different people from different country in the band as well, from Brazil, from Ireland. So it was a bit of mix, culture mix. It was amazing because you brought your influences, Irish influences, and we mixed with Brazilian music, and that was amazing. That was a very knowledgeable time for me because I learned a lot, and
For me
you
too.
know,
Yeah, it was
it
kind of
was
like my
great.
big introduction to Brazilian music, and I was just trying to, I was just trying to do my best to fit in, you know. Um, but
Oh yeah, and
it was kind of a nice role to play because you sang the songs, Paddy on guitar, Jay on drums, and Miguel on bass. Everything was already there, and then every
yes.
now and again I could just do a nice little flute solo and then jump back again and let you do your thing. So it was kind of a low responsibility, but a lot of learning. Like I still remember all of those songs
Amazing,
like
amazing. Yeah,
yesterday.
yes, like we used to sing Bananeira. Bananeira não sei, bananeira será. Was great, was great. And also because I was coming back to music, I stay a long time away from music and Dublin was the start. Was amazing to come back to stages and those routines of studio, looking for a studio to rehearse for us, and some studio that was near to our house. We kind of all lived in the same area of Dublin, so this was a great thing as well that contributed to keep doing this work and playing a lot of places. So that was cool. And I think there is some people. There are some people here. Please leave your comments where you're watching from. Right now you are in Dublin, right? You were born in Dublin or
I was actually born in the west of Ireland in
west
Limerick.
of Ireland? All right. Wow.
Um, but well, actually, it's fine now. Limerick has a great reputation these days, especially for music.
Yes.
But
Yes.
at the time, it was something I wasn't advertising. Actually,
All right.
I was born there, and then my family moved to Dublin like when I was a baby. So I
When you're a baby, yes.
basically from Dublin.
Yes, and in your family, you have musicians in your family, don't you?
Yeah, it's me and my two brothers. They're all
Yes.
musicians. My dad was a singer.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was a singer, and that's kind of why we moved from the west of Ireland because my mum was selling cakes and trying to bake, and my dad was selling flowers at the market, and this was the 80s,
Yes.
it wasn't working, so they moved to Dublin.
Yeah. Yes.
Um, but yeah, my dad sang songs like he's a singer.
Very talented as well.
Yeah, he's a great singer and
Yes.
songwriter. I
Mm-hmm.
think me and my two older brothers, followed a lot in his kind of footsteps. Um, just it's kind of a strange thing now that I look back because it was quite normal for him to just pick up a guitar and start singing his own music, which is actually quite unusual in most households. But at the time, it was I just considered it normal, So I think we were kind of lucky that we were exposed to that.
Yes. And what kind of music were your father singing, or what kind of influences you were exposed to? Like, I suppose.
So he kind of had this folk, but also Beatles kind of classic rock, but he had this finger picking guitar style. Um, yeah, it was kind of a mix, but yeah, kind of folk 60s kind of pop style, you know. And he used to play Beatles records and Elton John,
Wow.
and he had a Gloria Estefan tape as well. Cuts both ways, which was my favorite. Uh,
Wow.
that was my guilty pleasure for a long time, and now it's just my pleasure. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, and you used to listen, of course, to vinyls at the time, and I think this universe always fascinates me as well. And what do you think, like, about this history of evolution of music, and especially in Ireland? Was vinyl a big thing in Ireland, or you know?
You know what? I don't. I mean, some of my family, like my aunties and uncles, had a few vinyls, but it was never a big thing, and people started throwing them out. Like at the end of the '80s, start of the '90s, they were just there was no kind of value in them, and people were giving them to secondhand shops. Like my dad was building up a CD collection. I didn't see any vinyls. Um, it was only later on that I started collecting vinyls. But I don't really know where it came from. I think just all of my favorite albums were from that period, and they were on vinyl first. Like Marvin Gaye, What's Going On, all the Stevie Wonder albums, and they were intended to be, you know, big squares, not little
Yes.
compact discs. Um, so I think I fell in love with that style of music, and then with the medium, you know, and they were written to be two sides, you know, not just a bunch of tracks together. It was like side A, side B, and they had a different
Mm-hmm.
mood. It was it was like curated, you know, planned. Um, so yeah, I think I just fell in love with that whole. Uh, I don't know, maybe it's nostalgia or something. But actually,
Yeah.
nowadays it's the biggest selling medium,
Isn't it? Isn't it crazy? Like
more
it's
than any other.
amazing. Yeah.
I think people
And
miss the feeling of holding something real, you know, in their
yes.
hand,
It's
and they like to support the artists as well.
of course, yes, yes, yes. And when did you decide, like, because I met you in Dublin and you were already very active in the music scene. You had a lot of gigs and were playing with different people as well. So when did you started thinking more like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna have gigs, and I'm gonna was
Well,
something that happened naturally?
when I was playing with you, it was pretty much like a magical time now, thinking back at it, because I was singing with a choir, Discovery Gospel Choir, and we were doing like African gospel songs, and I was learning all about harmony, and I was learning about Brazilian music from you, and I was playing in another kind of trad band, Tig Lin. Uh, that was before I had kids, so when I had Lottie, our first child, she's 5 now. I kind of had to
Oh
make a
my
decision.
God.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to just. I only have time for one thing. That has to be my own music.
Yes.
So I kind of focused on that full time. But I released an album in 2014. That was kind of the beginning. It was kind of
Yes.
strange. We started recording the album before we even did a gig, because I knew all the guys. I was so sure of what I wanted to sound like. Um, and I just had the opportunity to record. So we just did it.
And did you produce yourselves as well? At the
My
time,
dad,
you
yeah,
didn't
my
have
dad.
a record label at the time.
No,
Yeah.
we just we did it on CD. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
which was already kind of dying in 2014,
Yes.
and I still have like a box of them in the house. But I made a lot of mistakes with that one, because I didn't really advertise it at all. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't even I didn't have a fan base. I was just like, I'm going to make an album, which anyone will tell you is just a bad idea. Even making an album is a bad idea, people say these days. Um, so I was kind of naive, and I just wanted to record an album. Um, so I released it. Nobody heard it, um, but you know, I was happy with it. That was kind of
Yes.
it was a
Of
success
course. It's,
for me.
yes.
So we learn, as we go.
Yes.
And I
And
didn't know it would take me another 5 years to do the next one.
yes. And why do you think people say that that is what is best to release an album or a single? You know, a lot of artists just release singles, a lot of artists release album. Do you think album is, of course, it is a lot of more work, but if you launch one single every 15 days as well, it's a kind of work to, promote. And what do you think about it? If someone is
Yeah,
someone is starting now, you say, oh, I release an album, or take care of your audience, build the audience,
yeah. I mean, they all tell you to do that if you're starting out. Just release singles, maybe an EP at some stage, and then when you have kind of at least a little following, then release an album. Um,
Yes.
I didn't do that, but yeah, I mean that it makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
especially and even if you have an album of songs, you, you kind of create more of an online buzz if you release one at a time. Um, it depends on what you want to do. Like, do you want to try to crack streaming? Because Spotify wants you to release things
Mm-hmm.
regularly, um, and you could kind of keep your online social media presence. I don't know. I mean, it all makes logical sense to do that.
Yes, yes.
uh, but I
And
suppose I'm a,
then
I'm a romantic. I wanted an album.
yes, yes. I think an album it's an excellent idea, especially now that you have your audience. Like I can see that you have a following, you have been building that for a while now, and it's growing every day. And yeah, and then after release the album in 2014, then jumping this 5 years starting. How was the process? Like how you
Well,
just
we
sit
we
down one
started
day,
recording
okay,
it.
I'm gonna start recording now and let's see how it goes. And
It was kind of a lucky situation that because my dad was living kind of in this. He was taking care of this house in Castleknock, and he converted one of the rooms into a studio. So we recorded the first album there, and also all of the backing tracks for the second album.
yes.
Just because it was kind of like a free studio there, but then it was a NAMA house. It was owned by the government, and,
Oh
and
yeah.
he had to leave. Like they told him, like you one
Oh
month to
no.
leave, because he was just kind of caretaking the house. And once he got that notice, I was like, okay, I need 2 days, and we just recorded the whole second album in 2 days. That was like 5 years ago. And I said, look, I'm gonna record the vocals, horns, guitars, everything else separately because that was just drums, bass, and keyboards. And then my first daughter was born. I was working full time. Then my second daughter was born. In the end, I was lucky to get maybe one day a month or one day every 2 months to go and record with my friend Ken in his home studio, and we would just spend all day doing vocals, maybe for one song, and
Amazing.
it was just very gradual, like that,
Yeah.
slow, but I spent so long in between the sessions that I kind of had a clear picture. There was no wasting time. It was like,
Mm-hmm.
I've got my day, let's record it. And I'd spent all day just singing the same thing, and we triple tracked every vocal, so it was kind of it was it was a heavy experience, but it was really enjoyable, like just losing myself singing the same thing again and again and again. Um, and yeah, that's how we did it. Uh,
And the name of the album as well, The Lookout. Um, how did you?
yeah, the
What was the
lookout.
inspiration for the name, for the art as well? The art is amazing. Like I can't wait to receive my album.
Oh, I can't
I'm
believe you
just
haven't got
wait.
it.
Oh my god! I saw
I
it's
sent them all
beautiful.
on
Oh my
Friday,
god! Do you have it
or
there to show
Wednesday
us?
and Thursday.
Do you have
Yeah, you
there?
should be getting it today.
Oh wow! Look at that! Amazing. And it's yellow
It's
as well, isn't it? Like
oh
inside.
yeah, yeah,
Wow.
it came out
Yes,
very
open.
well.
Open, open. Wow. Beautiful.
There
Like
she is.
sunshine.
Yeah, like a
Like the
big piece of
sun.
cheese. Just want to take
Wow.
a bite. Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah, she's yellow.
Wow.
Yeah, you should be getting it today. I'm sorry you haven't.
Woo! I'm gonna post a picture. Yay. Awesome. Can't wait to
So yeah,
listen.
the artwork is by an Irish guy called Conor Gallagher.
Wow.
It's Dublin City. So it's front and back.
Amazing.
I put loads of text over the back.
Wow.
And it kind of reminded me of something a bit post-apocalyptic, like the world, like two moons up here. Then
Yeah.
these are the city lights, but it it's kind of scary a little bit, like it's burning as well. So that kind of fit in with
Wow.
one of the songs on the album. It's called "When It All Runs Out," and it's kind of it's about how we're destroying the earth, um, and we have to basically stop taking oil and everything from the ground. And when it all runs out, what are we going to do? Basically,
Mm-hmm.
about moving towards a more natural means of fuel and everything. So that kind of matched the story of that song. And then the lookout is kind of it's kind of a warning, look out, watch out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also looking outwards, where my first album was very much like love songs, all about me,
I
myself,
remember.
or
Yes.
like
I remember. Yes.
uh, breakup songs, breakup album, like never trust your heart. It's like these kind of songs. Whereas this album is more about. I mean, there are love songs, but if they are, they're about other people
Mm-hmm.
and other relationships, as opposed to just me. So it's looking outwards. And so I was trying to kind of use the album title to say a few different things.
Oh, very good. And it's all with us, like in our relationships, also out to think about the planet and, to build it up relationships in love and, our the next generations that we're going to leave, what we're going to leave for the next generations that are, they are from this love and all these interactions between humans. And this is something very interesting because when you're saying this, reminds me of my add-ons for my last online show, The Land of Dreams, was exactly about this concept of taking care of the planet, to send trees to people, to
That's such a
plant,
nice. That's so
you
nice.
know
Yeah.
and that was something that is it's in my life, it's in my daily life, to plant trees and spend time in the garden. And yeah, I think this is amazing. And you also bring to your work what you are, your worries, your preoccupation with concerns with the place, our home.
Yeah. I mean, what you're doing is like you're really doing you're really doing it. You're planting trees. That's incredible. Uh, I kind of have it. I'm working from home. I'm working for TikTok at the moment
Oh, wow.
to pay my rent and kind of take care of my family. So I'm not really. I mean, it's all online, but I'm not really doing
Yeah.
anything tangible. I feel like I'm not doing enough. So I wanted to write a song about it. I mean, it's only one song on the album, because I find it quite hard to. I, you don't want to be kind of telling people what to do, like preaching to
Mm-hmm.
people,
Mm-hmm.
because then the message won't get across. So I find it hard to strike the right balance between uh, what I wanted to say and also to be a song that you want to listen to.
Yes,
um,
yes.
so yeah, the only kind of thing that I can do at the moment is to have a voice, is to use my small enough following to try to make some positive influence, but it was inspired by a trip to Venezuela because my
Oh,
wife
yeah, I
grew up
remember.
in
Your wife is from Venezuela. Hi, Rosa.
Yeah, yeah. So um, she brought me there in 2013. Actually, been there three
Wow.
times, but that was the first time.
And what
Uh,
do you think? Like, how was it?
it was amazing. Like it's a paradise. I'm sure you know, it's right beside Brazil, so it's got the same kind of tropical jungles and
Wow.
beaches. It's just beautiful. Um, Rivers, mountains, um, just like Rosa says at the start of the song, and we tried to show that in the music video as well. But then at the same time, the country is kind of in chaos. People don't have enough to eat, and there's inflation, crazy inflation, and political unrest and fighting in the streets and stuff. So you have these two different things
Yeah.
clashing, and it's kind of all about oil because they have this. They should be the most richest. They should be the richest country in the world because of the oil they have. But then the government is kind of keeping it all for themselves, and then the USA is trying to get their hands on it too. So it's just this big political
A
situation.
lot of conflicts. Conflicts.
A lot of conflict, and then for what? What, what when it's all gone in 20 years, 30 years, will it all have been worth it? That's pretty much where the song came from.
Wow.
And I was really inspired by Marvin Gaye, "What's Going On," and "Mercy, Mercy Me." When he's kind of, again, they're more, they sound like love songs really, but they're about the environment and war. So that's kind of the vibe I was going for. Um, yeah, but that's only one song on the album because I found it hard to force. I wanted to write. There was a period where I was just thinking, why? What's the point in writing anything else? I need to write songs like this,
Mm-hmm.
to convince people. But you know yourself
Mm-hmm.
that it doesn't work like that. You can't kind of force a song to come out. You just have to write about whatever you're feeling at the time.
Yes.
So yeah, in the end, I got they're all kind of different songs. "Say When" is a love song. It's kind of like an apology to my wife. "Believing" is about how somebody else can give you this new belief in life and love. "Little Rose," that's a song about Rosa. That's just about how this great feeling when you meet someone new. Um, "Good Things" is kind of a similar vibe about seeing the positive in people,
Yeah.
trying to see the good in people, trying not to be cynical.
Yes.
"Call Me" is just a song about hearing people's voice on a phone call. It's kind of an old-fashioned idea now because nobody calls each other anymore, but just the sound of someone's voice when they're talking just to you, that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of a special feeling. "Time the Healer," it's about a friend's relationship. When he came out of a hard relationship and was trying to heal, and I was telling him, time just takes time.
Yes.
"He Won't Understand," that's another relationship song, another of my friend's relationship. When you can see it's gonna end badly, but you can't say anything. And then "Stay at Home" is just a song about. It's like I actually wrote it pre-COVID. It's nothing to do with COVID. It's just about staying at home. Sometimes when you're happy with someone, you don't need to go out. You don't need to go to a club or a restaurant. You can just stay home and listen to records and have a nice
Yeah.
dinner and simple things.
And how is for you now that you spend mostly the time we are in the pandemic producing the album? Was it like during
So
the
I was
pandemic?
really lucky that this was finished before. I mean, mostly finished just before the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
I spent. I did a few little overdubs, vocal overdubs, flute overdubs. I think maybe just before last year, and then the rest of the time was spent mixing, mastering, and producing the vinyl. So I was kind of
Mm-hmm.
really lucky that I had everything almost ready to go before last March. But since the pandemic hit, like I can't really see my
Oh wow, the boost
yeah,
vocal.
it's
Wow,
just a
nice.
little. I mean, it's not even a very good mic, but I've been recording a few things at home, so I'm working on a 5-track EP of Irish songs, cover songs. Um, just to give me like a new project to do.
Yes.
But again, it's hard to find a day, a time to do it.
Yes. I think we all think about a transition as well, of I thought before that leaving the city, I will lose all the contacts in music or will not do music anymore. But actually happened the opposite. And, it was a hard process. I tell you, it's not easy. But, if you feel like one day doing it, do it. And, if you need any help, I will be here, because I think living near nature, it really helps our mental health, our, especially in these times, and it's very hard, you don't have, you need to be outside and, meet people, and nature will help you.
Yeah, I think you
The
made a great
birds.
choice, a great decision.
Yes, wasn't easy, but at the start, because of course it's a new environment. It's not there's no fuss from the city. That you're always going somewhere, and but it's being way more creative time for me, and to rethink the way I was doing music, or I was thinking to do music, and this has relation with releasing works, and what is your artist identity, all these type of things that we start looking at that we didn't look at before, and a lot of questions with this new stream platforms, a lot of how to make a living from the music we make as a songwriting, as a songwriters, and how this works for you. Do you think um, w- do you think would be possible, like make a living from songwriting at some point? Like, we are going towards that. We are going towards that. Like, even like step by step in your own pace, as well, because we have families. We need to give attention to our family as well. But how do you see this in the future? Like, you going towards something like that?
I mean, it's definitely possible if you have the right environment to do it. This is like I'm just looking behind you, and you have a studio there.
Yes, Birdland. That was
Amazing.
a
So
dream. Was a dream.
yeah, like I'm so impressed. I'm so happy for what you've done.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you. Yes.
This kind of situation, I mean, you could sit down and write a song. Um, my situation's a little bit different. I mean, whatever works for you. Actually, before the pandemic hit, I was thinking about quitting any sort of office work completely, and I was going to join a wedding band. And we had all these gigs booked, and they were all
Wow.
cancelled. I mean,
Oh,
I'm kind of happy in the end that I didn't quit, because this is how I'm paying my rent. Um, but it has positives and negatives. Like, one positive for me is that when I'm making music, I don't have to think about money. I'm not thinking about that at all, because my other job is for that. So it's completely separate. So when I do something musical, it's only from a place of pleasing myself,
yes.
which kind of, I think, keeps it. I was going to say pure, but maybe honest,
Yeah.
as opposed to trying to make something that will make me money. Maybe that's why my music doesn't make any money.
No, but it's a transition, because we all had second jobs, like we all,
Yeah,
and just now I'm giving 100% to music only now after 10 years living in Ireland.
yeah.
So it's been a long journey for us, and don't be pressuring yourself too much, because you have this job and you can finance your albums. And I also was like crowdfunding kind of for this album. Was this like, how
So
was
the
the process?
album, the recording and the mastering, I put all my own money into, and I definitely lost money on
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
it. But the vinyl was kind of crowdfunded. I didn't call it crowdfunding because
Yes.
um, I don't know how I feel about doing that yet. I mean, maybe one day I'll do it funded, but instead I just showed people this is the vinyl, and you can pre-order it. So it kind of works the same way as a crowdfunding. And then if I had enough pre-orders, I could afford to make it. So in the end, I didn't use my own money for it. I waited till there was a certain amount of orders. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
like it was very simple maths. Like basically it costs €2,000 to print the vinyl,
That's
300
very
vinyl.
good. That's very good.
If I sold the vinyl for €20, then 100 sales will fund it. 100 sales is €2,000.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of okay. So if I sell 100,
Plus,
it'll pay for itself.
yeah.
So I've sold 100 so far, like just exactly.
Wow. Well
So
done. Well
it has
done.
paid for itself. Yeah, I
Well
wasn't
done.
sure.
And but it's still like if people want to get it, they can go to your website. Is it? I'm gonna put
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
guys. I'm gonna put here. Ah, look! Whoa,
Oh, beautiful.
magic! Ah. Wow, amazing. So if people want to get the vinyl,
Yeah, any
it's
extra
still
costs will just go to
wow.
paying me back for the recording of it. But the vinyl, yeah, it's paying for itself, thankfully.
And also people can see your other albums as well, and all your bio and all the pictures, awesome pictures.
Yeah, I have
It
nice
was
t-shirts.
hard to choose one for the for the flyer because they are all awesome and yeah, very well done, Donny. I'm so proud and happy for you that
Oh,
you're
thanks,
achieving
Gaga.
this after this long time, and playing as well. And I know that you work very hard for this, and of course you have your family as well by your side. This is very important too. I can see that. So
Like to be honest, I didn't know if it was going to work. I was just quite. I think I was quite lucky that people wanted to support it. And a lot of people contacted me and said, "Look, I don't even have a vinyl player." Like several people told me that they don't have vinyls, but they just
wow,
bought it just to support me,
wow,
which was
amazing.
which was kind of I was kind of speechless from it. I don't really know how to make of that because you always you always feel like you're nagging people. Like I hate asking people, "Hey, give me money for this thing." But it turns out some people want to. And I'm the same. If I see an artist releasing a vinyl, like an Irish artist, I'll buy it to support them. So I know it
Yes,
makes sense that other people will be the same, but it is
yeah,
quite moving when you see it when it happens.
yeah, yes, and also we have this kind of, you know, that we need to charge for our work. Like it's difficult to think about all the work we have behind an album, behind a release. And I think people understand that, and they will support you, of course, because it's not a sign to make your investment back. It's like you're doing your art, you're working very hard, and also there is musicians working with you that also are working on the album. So I think
Yeah,
it's very, very important. We kind of leave this fear behind that I have to charge something, or
of
to
asking for
choose the,
things. Yeah,
asking for money for because it is a work, and like other professions as well, like a painter or like any other profession, you charge for that time you invested.
yeah. I think that was something that was important to me that I didn't want to just be asking for for money. I wanted to give them something that they could
Of
really
value.
enjoy. Like I want them to have this really nice record and be happy that they have it. I wanted them to get something that they will enjoy and have forever. As opposed to just say, hey, support my album
Yes.
to
And
to
how
give
was
something real,
yes, something of value, really.
something that people want to have.
Yes, yes, yes. And for you, when you finished the album, like having a look overview, what did work, what did not work. I know things that worked well. We will keep doing it in every project. So could you kind of say a little bit about what did work and how was it, like little steps? First you recorded, and second you sent to mix and master, and then how was this process for you?
Like
Did you have any reference? Did you
it
have any
was,
reference in Irish music that people that launched, like yourself?
not really, not really, especially with the vinyl. It's kind of a like the Dublin vinyl plant. It didn't exist, when I started recording this album. It's only about 3 years old, 2 or 3 years old.
Really?
Um, I was going to do it abroad. I know my friend Max, his band Zaska, they got a German company to do it, but I wanted to kind of keep it local. So yeah, I mean, things that didn't work. I mean, like there's no right or wrong way to do it. There's only whatever works for you. If I was to give anyone advice, make it work
Mm-hmm.
uh, in a way that you can. And for me, that way was working 9 to 5. Taking care of my kids, and then like maybe once a month booking that time to record. You know, so I would have to. So it wouldn't be really fair to just leave my kids and my wife all the time. So I would have like kind of earn those brownie points by doing something myself, and then kind of we would, it's a team effort. So that was kind of my struggle, was how do I find the time to do it. Um, and then the other thing is money. So I was recording with Ken McCabe and Wolfhound Sound. Ken's basically a genius. He makes the whole album,
Wow.
and but I had to pay him. I'm not gonna. It's his job, so I had to do one track at a time, and I think maybe that's why it took so long. That I couldn't afford to just pay him for the
In
whole
one
album.
go.
I could only pay
Mm-hmm.
him for song by song. So that worked okay.
Which
And
is
this
fair
was,
enough. Like it's
yeah,
okay
yeah.
too. Yeah.
But if you can do them all together, do it. I was lucky that all of the same core group of musicians played on it. So this, even though the songs were mixed sometimes a year apart, they all kind of had this cohesive sound. Um, but yeah, I mean, and another thing, I wasn't able to do a launch gig. I didn't do like a launch gig because of the pandemic, and I still haven't. I haven't done a live stream. I just haven't done it. I'm kind of afraid of doing it, and it won't be like my whole band can't be there,
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
it'll be different. So I kind of want to wait till everything's back open again, and then just do a really big gig. Um, so I mean, there's loads of things that I'm kind of unsatisfied with. But then I look at the physical thing, and I'm holding it, and I'm happy. And I'm seeing people's stories, Instagram stories, and tweets and stuff just today and yesterday, um, when they're receiving it.
Yes, I saw it. Amazing. People are playing and
Yeah,
taking pictures.
it's just it's quite emotional to see.
It
To see.
is.
It's like these babies, you're sending them into the world, and
Oh
you
my
see all
God.
these strange houses, different record players. Um, so it's not really about. I mean, for me, the success is just the making of it.
It's the journey.
The journey, uh, but also having made it. Like
Mm-hmm.
both. It's both. It's a journey. I've learned so much about the whole process. It'll be easier the next time, but also just to have a plan and to do it. That's already a success. It doesn't matter if it's like on the charts, or if you have 10,000 followers or whatever.
Yes, yes.
That none of those things are important.
I agree
I mean,
100%.
they would be nice. They would be a nice dopamine rush, but in the end, achieving your goal, that's what it is for me.
Yes. Yeah, I believe the same thing. I think, you everything you achieved, it's something to to really be happy, uh, because you change your life, you change life of people around you too. People are listen to your music, you're passing on your message, and they're being inspired too by your achievement. I'm inspired by your achievement, and this is why I wanted to talk to you today, because
Thank
you're a wonderful person, you're a good musician, a good
you.
friend. You work very hard, and I just think, deserve like people like you deserve to, really um, have your work out there
You're
and
gonna make me
people
cry.
supporting you. No, 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 no. It's all right. I
Live. You're gonna make me cry
Oh
live.
my God. No, sorry, Danny. Okay, so we think something for the future now. What is your plans? What do you think now after the album, promoting the album and keep promoting and passing on your message? Do you have any idea what would you like to do next? Of course, the releasing um, event of your album, and after that, did you think
Yeah,
anything?
I have a few things kind of bubbling. Um, Everything's taking longer because of basically my circumstances. um, Two kids in the house. This is my workspace here. I'm working from my bedroom.
Oh, very good. Yes.
But yeah, I had an idea to make a little podcast.
Cool. Awesome.
Not a regular thing, just
Yeah.
one episode per song. So specifically for the album, and a bit like Song Exploder, where they talk about how they made the song.
Wow. Awesome.
Just short episodes, and I've half of them finished actually, and I've been asking people who play on the album to say a few words as well. So hopefully I can finish that soon. Basically just talking about how we recorded the songs, the inspiration, and using the stems from the music.
Yes. It's amazing how you said about each song of your album, the story, and that would be a nice thing for people to know as well. The
Yeah, like
background.
I find that like I was wondering if people would actually find this interesting, but for me, I love
Yeah.
hearing those stories. Even if I'm like when I listen to Song Exploder podcast, sometimes I don't even like the song, but I'm still fascinated by the story of how it came to be, or something interesting about the recording, or there's always something fascinating about uh, the production. So kind of a nerdy musical interest. So hopefully that'll be interesting for people as well. And it's just something different to promote the album. And
Yeah.
I can do that. I can do it at home here on my little mic and on the computer.
Yes, oh, very good. One question I had too, because this is something that I already tried a few times. What do you think about grants and all these projects that you can apply, like to finance your
Yeah,
work as a musician? I find out very difficult because, I'm not
yeah.
English native. It's very hard to write everything, in English for me. Like, you need to have a very good grammar to kind of explain your idea, and
I
after
think
the
it's. I
project.
mean, I am a native speaker, and I still didn't get it. So I think
Oh my God. Yeah,
it's
it's very
even more than
hard.
that. I think you need to even speak a certain kind of language. Use specific uh, words. I mean, there are people that are really good at these kind of things, but they've applied again and again and again, um, and gone to lectures about how to write them and stuff. So I was actually really hoping to get that funding last year for this album. Um,
I remember.
and I was disappointed that I didn't get it. I mean, not disappointed because there are so many musicians who probably applied and who deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but
But
it was a bit of a
it is a
setback.
disappointment because you spend like time, a lot of time to do it,
Time and
and
money, mostly money.
yeah, yes,
It's
yes,
mostly the money side of things. I think people don't realize how much it costs to record music
yes, yes.
properly with a full band.
And did you have any help for this album? Like, I know you put money on it, but like, is there a record label that is helping you as a team, or is there someone helps you with the press, or you
So
know?
I'm releasing it with Hip Drop Records. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it's 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 basically it's a record label run by Keith. You know Keith Fennell, my friend,
Yes, I know, Keith. Yes.
and Dan Whelan as well. He's a guitar player.
Mm-hmm.
Um, plays with Jan Carey. It's not really a record label in the sense that they um, promote or fund your recording.
Mm-hmm.
I'm essentially funding everything myself, but
Mm-hmm.
just kind of
Okay.
using the name just for Bandcamp. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, Keith and Dan helped me a lot with my first single, my first vinyl single, which came out in 2014. Um, yeah, but for this one, I basically funded it all myself, and Hip Drop is just the name. It sounds good when there's a record
Very good.
label.
Yes,
Even
yes.
if
And if yeah, and I receive emails as well from Danny because I subscribe to his mailing list. So all
oh
the
yeah, I'm on your
projects that
mailing
he's
list.
doing, all the projects he's doing, I'm following, and I think it's amazing. And yeah, I just feel really happy to see all this evolution and how we both walked
Yeah,
to this
again,
path.
it's kind of a thing where you're kind of shy at the start about reaching out to people and contacting people and saying, hey, look, I'm doing this new thing, and you don't want to be too intrusive, and you're going into their inbox. But in the end, if they sign up for it, then they want to hear it. They want to hear what's going
Yes,
on.
exactly. Yeah.
I don't really do it regularly because I don't want to kind of spam people. It's only every few months. Just hey, this something is happening. I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Um, but yeah, it's a side of. I need to get better at this. I mean, this is kind of the kind of thing that a PR team or a manager is good for. Um, but I think it's also nice to have a personal email from the artist. Like I like to receive it
Yeah.
as
And
well.
I feel really near to you, like, even like busy lives and stuff. And, I really feel near and,
Yeah, likewise. I think we're doing this
following.
the same. We're kind of in the same vibe.
Yeah. And are you doing like any online collaborations, or if people would like to record something with you, how they can reach you? I know the time is,
I'd love
it's
to.
a
I mean, I'd
limiting
love to.
thing, but yeah, if people want to, would you be up like in a
Definitely, definitely.
in a pace that everybody can do it and things like that?
I've done the first kind of big one like that was a single that I released last year. It's called Darling or Darling, and
Mm-hmm.
it was because of my lack of time that I did the collaboration. I reached out to singer Tolu McKay and rapper Jamel Franklin, and basically I recorded the choruses, and then they recorded their verses separately, and we just released it. Uh, you know, like we recorded it last year in lockdown. It was lockdown one. It
Oh
was like
my
this
God.
time last year, April or May last year.
Jeez.
So that was really exciting for me because it was kind of it opened up a new door. I was like, oh, okay, you know, collaboration. I was always kind of scared of doing collaboration because I was very precious of my own kind of stuff. But actually, I got this song that was much better than I could ever have imagined it myself when I invited these two people to join me on it. So it's definitely I just haven't had the opportunity since then, but it's definitely something I want to do in the future. Like we can record our own parts from home, mix it together like like it's easy now to do that.
Yes, yes. And okay, so we achieved 50 minutes of conversation now. So
Did
we're
we?
gonna
Wow.
be doing a few last considerations, a few last questions, just to end up this amazing chat that I had with you today. So I'm gonna ask one question: three things that you like about Ireland.
Three things I like about Ireland. That's a good question.
I'm curious.
I mean, one thing is Irish music, Irish traditional music.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up playing the flute, the tin whistle and the flute, and I played in all the Irish music festivals and all the groupie kills with my little tin whistle.
Wow.
And that was my first kind of introduction to playing music with other people with Irish music. And I haven't really had the opportunity in recent years to play in sessions with other people, so it's a part of my life that I feel is really missing, and it's unique to Ireland, you know.
Yes.
But again, it's something that's played all over the world. Like
Yes.
they play Irish
Very
music
rich. Very
in
rich.
Japan and the United States. So yeah, Irish music is probably number one.
Yeah.
I don't know, number two. Irish taxi drivers. They're good crack.
A good chat.
Pints of Guinness. Uh,
Oh,
Rainy days.
good.
I don't know.
Rainy days.
I'm
Good.
listing all the cliches here.
Oh, amazing, amazing. And well, to finish this video, I would like, if you would like to give an advice to people that are starting music here in Ireland, especially, and all over Brazil, or who is watching our video, what would be your advice as a
The
musician?
advice that I would give someone starting off is to, first of all, to listen to as much music as possible. Just listen, listen, listen. And listen to jazz, soul, hip hop, R&B, rock, trad, folk, everything, um, everything, and that'll only help you find your own musical voice, and also play with other people. I know that's not a good, it's not a great
No,
advice
but
right
like,
now,
yeah.
but that's the best way to learn.
Hmm.
Like when you're learning a language, you need to talk to other people, and you're going to learn 10 times faster. About what a song needs, when to not play, when to play. And the third thing I would say is do whatever makes you happy. Don't try and fit into what's cool or what you think other people think is cool or something that someone else wants you to do. Um, Focus on your own kind of voice and your own style, and it's going to be unique to you, and it's going to resonate with other people more. And just in
Great.
general, do more of what makes you happy. Like
Yes,
if it
yes.
makes you happy to sing, book 1 hour a week to sing.
Yes,
Just make it happen.
yes.
You know,
Oh,
don't watch
done.
don't watch Netflix
No.
on on,
Oh my
on
God, we can
Thursday.
be lost with Netflix. You
Don't
can,
watch it
yeah,
on
I
Thursday
understand. Yes, yes.
or
And
something like that. I don't know.
yeah.
I
No,
don't know if that's
I
good.
will follow. I will follow this advice 100% because in 3 weeks' time I'm going to be launching my second, the volume 2 of my online show.
Oh, cool.
The first one was very successful, and yeah, I'm very excited about it.
That's your live
And
show.
it's my live online show, and it's
Awesome.
been amazing, and people are really liking it. And we're called The Timeless River, A Wrinkle in Time.
Lovely.
And yeah, so I'm very excited, and I hope everybody can go as well. And you all are invited. And thank you
I'll
so
be
much,
there.
Danny. Thank you so much for being here, for your time. and I wish you the best of
Thank you, Bianca.
success.
Thanks for
And
calling
I'm
me.
very proud of you. Okay? Well done. Well done. And
I'm
please get in
holding
touch
in
with
my
Donny.
tears till after the call.
Oh no, it's fine. And please get in touch with Donny on Instagram. There's the website as well here, themajor7s.com.
Hit
Subscribe
me
to
up.
the mailing list and all this. You be in touch with Donny. Donny always answered the message. Please get in touch with him and ask for the vinyl.
Ask for the
Ask for the vinyl.
phone.
Yes. Look out. Wow. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, hopefully you'll get
Amazing.
yours today, Bianca.
Yes, yes. And of course, I'm gonna ask you a lot of tips, and was amazing the conversation today. I already got a lot of insights about it,
Oh,
and I think one day as well, I hope to record a song with you and to
I'd love
do
that.
amazing work. So we're gonna stay in touch, okay? And have a nice day, guys. Enjoy your day.
Obrigado. LaGracia.
Obrigada! Abraço, Dani. Bye bye. Yay.
Bye.